Hey SockGang, it's me JONO and welcome to SockGang HQ, the place where we might not have the numbers, but we have the heart and some of the hottest socks. In fact, no, the hottest socks on the internet. A few days ago, I posted a question in the community tab where I asked you guys to post some of the questions you've been wanting to ask me for the longest time. I'm going to be answering 10 of those questions today and 10 of them in another video. Question number 1, and this question comes from Jizux, and they ask, how are you? Well, I'm actually doing pretty well today. It was Thanksgiving yesterday. Happy Thanksgiving to those of you who celebrate. I was fortunate enough to spend it with some of my favorite people in America yesterday, and I came home with so much food. It's just left me feeling positive, inspired, and ready to have a nice weekend. So I hope you're doing well as well. Question number 2 comes from Taya DV, and they ask, are you Ren's brother? I get this question all the time, actually. People are always asking whether Ren and I are related, and I'm sure some of you noticed that sometimes we actually sound the same. I tried to do Ren's intro once, and it was a tremendous fail. Yes, Ren is my older brother. My music has actually been featured in Ren's content since 2016. So me and Ren have been working together in the Minecraft realm for a pretty long time. I don't know if you can see, this is my dog, Deputy Dweezil. He's my bestie. Question 3 is from Equestrian Rosie, and they ask, when did you first know you wanted to write music? Well, this is a very interesting question because I feel like I've been writing music for a very long time. I started playing music when I was 5. My parents got me a guitar, and I'm very lucky to come from a pretty musical family. My mom is a musician and my dad was in the music business, and my big brother Rendog was in a rock band. He was a guitar player. In fact, this is Rendog's actual guitar right here that Rendog used to play when I was a kid. And I actually got Ren to sign it. I don't know if you can see. This is Ren, the guitar. But I used to watch Rendog play this guitar, and for whatever reason, I was super inspired to learn the guitar. One of the most pivotal guitar lessons I ever learned was actually from Rendog, and it's a moment I never forgot. Rendog walked into my room and actually taught me how to play the blues scale on the guitar. So I was like 5, 6, rocking the blues scale and playing along to the blues. And that's when I started learning how to improvise on guitar. And I guess improvising is creating stuff. And so I began learning the language of music by ear. In fact, I only learned how to sight read when I was 21. From an early age, I learned music, playing along to music, and sitting there trying to figure out how all of it works. So I guess I've always just been fascinated by the language of music. And in my mind at this point, I don't see music much different to learning a language. If you were to learn Spanish, or if you were to learn English, you're learning a vocabulary of words. People don't realize that they improvise all the time. In fact, if we were to have a conversation and talk to each other, that is improvising. I think in music you just learn a larger vocabulary of words, and then you can now implement the words. And instead of saying I had a nice day, you can say it way more smart. I'm not going to try. I've just always been fascinated with the language of music and the punctuation and the grammar and the spelling and how it all works together. I think I fell in love with writing a long time ago. Question 4 is from Epsilon8939, and they ask, how long have you been playing Minecraft and what got you into it? So my Minecraft adventure started a long time ago, probably in 2012. And if I think back to it, I was actually on a choir camp, and my best friend at the time had Minecraft on their computer and let me play it. Also around that time in 2012 is when Ren started playing Minecraft on YouTube and starting his Let's Play series. Probably not even starting, it was probably in the second or third season at that point, and I actually began writing music for Ren. And you can actually go and find those videos on my channel. They're from about 7 years ago. But that was the first time I ever had to try and create atmospheric music. Number 5 is from Kraken Casting, and they ask, how many instruments do you play? Which are you best at? Which did you learn most recently? And which is your favorite? I studied guitar at college. My dream was to be the next big jazz guitarist, so I really got into jazz guitar. Soon discovered that I like to arrange and write a little more than that. My best instrument is definitely the guitar, and I've been playing the guitar since I was 5. So I've been playing guitar for 22 years now. I have a degree in guitar. I've studied with some incredible guitar teachers, which I was very fortunate to be able to do, and they really shaped the way I think about life as a musician. And besides that, I've been forced to learn how to write for several instruments and genres in my time, which I think you can find in our Hermitcraft catalog. We've done anything from Octagon to His Name is Mumbo Jumbo to the music for Grian to the Mumbo for Mayor jingles. I've really been forced to write in a number of styles, and I actually played all of the instruments on those songs through my keyboard because technology is so amazing that we now have access to all of these instruments on our computers. The question then is that you need to learn how to think like all of these instruments. So I can't necessarily play all of these instruments, but through trial and error and many hours of making stuff, I've learned how to think more like I think these instruments would be written for, so that when I'm writing I can consider how a drummer would play, or how a bass player would play, or how a violinist would play, or how a synth would sound. I'm probably more of a producer in that sense. My true love and passion right now is playing the piano, and I've had way more time to play the piano this year. I'm constantly learning about harmony and music and the technicalities of music, especially when I listen to music that inspires me, and piano is such a beautiful instrument because it's so visual and it's so laid out in front of you that you can see everything, which is not like a guitar where you have a lot of the notes appear all over the guitar that sound the same. So you have to be able to play the same sounding thing in several ways, where on the piano it's visual and it's right there. I think the deeper you get into music, the more you get into these crazy things called triads. And on a piano you can visually see the relationships between triads and bass notes that create these incredible clashes and clusters and tensions. And if you understand the language and you can visually see it on a piano, it is a beautiful thing. So I'm currently doing my best to become a great piano player. Number 6, arranging the pieces. 0914 asks, who are some of your favorite musicians / singers? Well, I'm just going to tell you my favorite musician, because they are both a singer and a musician, and that is Frank Zappa. I'm probably one of the few people my age on the planet that has such an affinity. In fact, I'm in 0.01% of FZ's top listeners on the planet, which I found out last year through my Spotify stats. So if that puts it into perspective, I am a Frank Zappa nut. 7. Joseph Anton White asks, can you make your songs listenable on YouTube Music without them being a video? I'd appreciate it. Well, this brings me on to our exciting new project, which I spoke about in our last video. And if you haven't checked that out yet, please go check it out. We will be releasing a lot of music. I mean, we're probably going to make 50 songs plus in this project. And if you don't know about this project, I'm not going to say any more about it. Go check it out after this video. Number 8 is from Nassus Khan. How do you combat writer's block? If I can ask another, how do you combat your worst critic, yourself? How do you show kindness and compassion towards yourself about your music? And I'm not sure you're going to like this answer, because I don't know if I've figured it out just yet. I'm on a constant journey of trying to be in this creative state, but life is not always very supportive and welcoming of a creative state. In fact, if I'm to be totally honest, it's been a very long time since I've actually made my own music and music for me, because now I write music, it's my job, you know, so I don't have that personal connection as much to the music I'm making. I had a little glimpse of it 2 days ago, actually, when I started writing music. In fact, a lot of the original Hermitcraft songs I did for Korean were done on a software called Reason. I've since migrated to another software called Cubase. For whatever reason, 2 days ago, I migrated back over to Reason, and it blew my mind. There were so many things in Reason that I just didn't understand how to use or where to place, but through my experience working in films, I now listen to all the crazy sounds in Reason and I think to myself, wow, I can immediately just visually see where this thing can be placed. And I've actually started writing a little screenplay that my dear friend Tim and I are going to be putting together. I'd love to actually make some movies now with my music and to make productions that I write the music for. I'm not sure if that answered your question. The answer is just to never give up. Number 9 is from Sanastratus 3998. What is your favorite piece of music you ever made? Which is a brilliant follow-up from the last question, because I just don't think I've made it yet. I haven't had an opportunity yet where I've been able to fully just immerse myself in creating something. And I think when I finally manage to do that, it might be one of my favorite musical creations. And finally, number 10, user PX7TG8BB2Y says, peace, love and plants. And I guess I'm gonna end off by saying, peace, love and socks. I'll see you later, Sock Gang.